I love super telephoto lenses. I'm sorry if I'm a little shaky. It is 27 degrees and it is cold, and I've been out here since 7 a.m. and it's now like 3 o'clock going on 4 o'clock. So I'm a little chilly at this point, but it finally stopped snowing, so I figured I'd shoot this video. Welcome back everyone, and in today's video we're going to be going over a few mistakes with telephoto lenses. If this is your first time here, I just want to welcome you. I'm Boris from Lively Productions, and I bring you guys my best tips and tools to grow as a wildlife, landscape, and outdoor lifestyle photographer. Today we're in northeastern Virginia, and I'm actually shooting an owl right now, and I'm going to bring you guys some common mistakes when using one of these, and hopefully you guys can learn from this and grow a little bit quicker than I did. So the first common mistake that I see is taking cluttered photos. You really want to simplify your image. You want, when someone looks at it, to be able to pick out what the story is, because that's essentially what we're doing here. We're telling a story. So a super telephoto lens is going to be anything from your close-up to your extreme close-up. Really diving in on the details, unless what you're shooting is super far away, then it could potentially be a medium shot. Like this owl right here is going to be close to a medium shot until I crop in. Then it'll be a close-up. These shots are supposed to be simple so that your viewer, whoever's watching it, can really know the fine details of what it is that you're looking at. There's no confusion as to what it is. You may see this shot right now as a medium shot, and then a close-up shot would be the camera. Or a medium shot might look like this when I'm talking about the owl. And then your close-up shot would look like this, and an extreme close-up is going to be this very noisy, ugly video that you see here where I've cropped in way too much. So when you're looking through your viewfinder, make sure whatever it is that you're shooting is the star of the show. That is what is being highlighted, and you can see it clearly in your photo. Now, number two is making sure you have a compelling subject. You want your subject to draw your viewer in. It should interest you first and foremost. If you don't find it interesting or you can't describe its story in the frame, then it's probably not a compelling photo. Granted, this is all subjective to who your target audience is. Again, like this owl, this is a compelling subject because they're one of the most elusive birds ever. So for me, telling this bird's story, its environment, trying to get as many shots of it as I can, and then closing in, showing the detail and the characteristics of this bird, that is telling a compelling story. Therefore, the subject is a compelling subject. Now let's talk about balance. Balance is a compositional term, and again, it kind of rolls into making sure your image isn't cluttered and that you have a compelling subject. Now you want to fill the rest of your frame, or not fill it, so that it is weighted completely or correctly. I set my camera up that you're watching right now to have this on one side of the frame and me on the other side of the frame, and you have balance. So make sure that if you're using a lens like this, you are providing balance in your image. Look at things like the tree branches. How do the tree branches fill the frame? How does your subject, your animal, fill the frame? It's a very simple thing. It only takes a few more seconds when you're looking through the viewfinder, and this is where walking around your subject, maybe get a couple shots off so you're happy that you photographed whatever it is you saw, and now work your composition into it. Try and get an even better shot. Always challenge yourself, and using the rules of composition, you're always going to end up getting better photos the more you do it and the more you practice and look for things like balance. When you're using a telephoto or super telephoto lens, they compress the background, they bring the background to your subject. You'll see in this photo here, the tree branches and everything behind the owl are much closer on the owl itself. Everything looks more tight-knit and everything is scaled up to a larger degree. If you look at this image here of a coyote, you can see that I have foreground, and then the foreground kind of drops off, but it works its way to the subject. Utilize your foreground, midground, and background all in one image to add to it. You want to make sure that everything in the photo adds to the subject and to the storytelling element, whatever story it is you're trying to tell. If you guys like what you hear so far, give this video a like, as it does push this video out to a lot more people and my channel, all in all, helping us grow. Going back to the wide shot, medium shot, and close-up shots, I try and take a photo of everything I can that tells the story of the environment that I'm in. For example, a place like this, looking at like these branches, zooming in nice and close and getting the detail of those branches, because these branches, you can only see the way that they're twisted here, right here where I'm at. So everywhere you go, there's a story to be told for the environment that you're in. Use a wide shot to get your entire environment telling and setting the scene, and then use your medium lens and your telephoto, super telephoto lenses to really bring the viewer into the scene, make them feel like they're sitting there looking at that little mushroom or sitting so close to a coyote or an owl. That's really gonna make your photo stand out and you as a photographer and your storytelling ability to stand out. Lastly, I want to talk about flat images. So what is a flat image? Usually flat images are images that don't have any interesting light or contrast into it. Photography is light painting. Having very contrasty light, contrast being your shadow or your blacks, shadows, midtones, highlights and whites. You have a good balance between them all. I am positioned right now to photograph the owl in the tree, and the sun is going to be setting behind me. Hopefully we'll get a break in the clouds and the light will hit the owl here, and I will have some nice contrast. And what contrast does, it makes the photo feel more 3D, more alive, instead of a flat 2D object, because there's movement through it in light and in detail. So really the point of this video is just to tell you guys to make sure that if you're using a super telephoto or a telephoto lens, to pick out the details, simplify the scene, and then, what was the other one? Oh yeah, composition, balance. Think about those things next time you're out shooting. How can you simplify what you're looking at now? Can you simplify it even more? Is there a better time of day to add more contrast? And is there a better spot to maybe position yourself so that you get more balance in that image, a better composition, a better way to tell that story that makes it uniquely you? If you guys have anything that you would like to add, critiques, good or bad, throw them in the comment section below. I'll get back to you. Those things really do help me produce better videos and give you guys content that you guys want. And if you would like to follow me on social media, hike along with me, all my links are in the description below as well. You can find everything that you need down there. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm going to balance out this photograph.